Hey everyone, Fox 61 Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank here on the Weather Watch. We are timing the exit of this nor'easter. Nor'easter doesn't necessarily mean snow, as a lot of you guys might have discovered today, because for a lot of the state outside of the hills, this ended up being a big old rainstorm. But now many towns have made that transition over to snow. But this was a snowstorm in the Northwest Hills. My goodness, it piled up quickly and is resulting in problems that extend into tonight. There are towns like Goshen where just about everybody lost power. Same is true for areas like Norfolk. So we're looking at a lot of towns that were very heavily hit by this storm. And honestly, we got lucky that it wasn't more included in that. Taking a look at the radar right now, you'll see lighter snowfall rates now starting to develop in the Hartford area, Tolland, Windham County. But there is some banding where it's coming down a little bit better in western Connecticut. And these are for areas that really don't need the snow and have had way too much already. So we're seeing some locally moderate to heavier snow right now from Cornwall over through Warren, and that extends down through Middlebury and Naugatuck and Bethany. As you head closer to the shoreline, you're more likely just seeing rain right now. Even though the radar is showing snow, it could be mixing with rain. If you have transitioned over to snow, it's likely not sticking at this point, just with temperatures that are so far above freezing. In northeastern Connecticut, we're getting reports that it's snowing at a pretty good clip, and not only that, but it is sticking. And in southeastern Connecticut, we're likely seeing some either much lighter rates or even just some rain. Taking a look as we head throughout the next couple of hours or so, this is going to continue to wind down. So as we head towards the news at 10 and 11, still snowing out there for parts of the state, but we're likely seeing lighter snow, or it's beginning to break apart. Between 10 and about midnight is when it truly ends, other than just the chance for a lingering flurry out there. Snowfall totals have been all over the place, and there has been almost an all or nothing type of storm that has really set up for areas from Hartford down the Connecticut River Valley, and anybody basically east or south of Hartford has seen so much less snow. Barely any has been able to accumulate other than a coating in spots, which has mainly been on the grass. But as soon as you head up in elevation, those totals become a lot more impressive. And just look at this sharp gradient. Again, Hartford goes from having no snow on the ground to 4.5 inches at Bradley International Airport. You head up in elevation to Granby at 8 inches. You head up in elevation to Simsbury at 10 inches, and then East Heartland, 1.5 feet of snow. And this is really impressive, right? But not as impressive as what our neighbors to the north ended up getting. So if you're feeling like, oh man, I wish I got a little bit more snow, don't feel bad, because this is the kind of snow that you don't want. Heavy, wet, coating everything up and causing outages. So the temperatures that we had out there today were both a blessing and a curse. A blessing because it really helped road conditions even after that transition over to snow. A lot of those flakes falling and kind of melting on contact with the ground, and in some cases just melting the snowflakes entirely and falling in the form of rain by the time it gets to us. But it really was not helpful in northwestern Connecticut because it ended up making the snow very heavy, very wet, and clinging to things and weighing things down, which is why we do see those power outage problems for some in northwestern Connecticut. And if you're, for example, in Goshen, where 98% of the town is without power, you can't even go to a neighbor's house to kind of spend the night there because they don't have power either. So when you think about it that way, it's really kind of mind-boggling. Taking a look at winds gusting, they're not damaging right now. And while we are expecting winds to increase as we head through the overnight hours and into tomorrow, we could see gusts around 45 miles per hour or even a little bit greater. I think overnight tonight, the winds will be the worst in the hills and the immediate shoreline. I think the valley locations, and echoes for any valley in the state, will be much less. We'll see the winds also continue as we head into your Wednesday, so that might be an issue for people in the Northwest Hills that are trying to get their power restored. With winds like that, it might be hard to get people in the bucket trucks to get up to kind of repair the lines. So it's another windy day tomorrow. So there could be some additional outages. Again, when we're talking about winds increasing, lot of people saying, am I in for an outage? Again, we're not expecting many outages outside of the areas that have seen the most snow. There could be an isolated outage along the Connecticut shoreline, where we're also talking about where some of the stronger winds are possible. But those outages are going to be more likely to continue in areas like Heartland, in New Hartford, in Cornwall, areas that have already seen a lot of snow, and will also get that combination of gusty winds. So snow early, winding down. A lot of people asking about the chance for black ice. I think untreated surfaces could certainly be slippery overnight, but treated roadways should be okay. Heading through the day tomorrow, it's windy. A lot of schools already, especially in the hard-hit areas, have chosen to cancel school for tomorrow as well. So make sure you're checking in on that. Heading through the day tomorrow, we're looking at highs around 40 degrees, and we'll be even warmer than that as we head into your Thursday and Friday. So if you are in the hills and you're hoping to melt some of that snow, Mother Nature's going to do a little bit of helping there. But otherwise, here's a look at your planner as we head through the day tomorrow. And a look at your Fox 61 7-day forecast. We're up around 50 degrees for your Thursday. We're in the low to mid 50s on Friday. The next chance for a storm would not be until Friday night and Saturday. I don't even know if I should call it a storm, but the next chance for precipitation that will likely fall in the form of rain. Briefly colder as we head into the second half of the weekend, and then temperatures warm back up again. Thank you all for your reports, your pictures, staying with us through this nor'easter, and hopefully you can join us on the Fox 61